Okay, so I just wanted to seriously quickly share the reading I just threw for myself. Okay, so let me... Okay, so what do we have here? High Priestess is crowning. Okay, so our intuition is leading the way here. Really backed with the passion, the fire, and compassion of the heart. That Aquarius Leo energy. So it's really like balancing the heart with the mind. It's really going to bring in these messages to help guide us forward. Okay, the High Priestess, your intuition, your dreams. For me especially, probably just because that's just where I'm the most receptive and the most still and quiet, and so it just makes sense. But so there you go, High Priestess. And the last reading I did, which was, well, Twin Flame reading, I think it was the monthly for August. Yeah, the High Priestess was the first card that flipped out. So as I was shuffling these two cards, I saw the Two of Wands. I saw a couple of these cards, but I definitely saw this. Excuse me, that's the Knave of Cups. That's on the side of the Divine Masculine. That's that innocent, beautiful offering of love, of just truth, harmony, you know, not encroaching on your space or energy or anything like that. Only adding value to your life, not taking anything away. Only adding to the abundance. I have the Five of Swords on the side of the Divine Feminine, but what I got from this card this time was, you know, we've both been on both sides of it. Right? We have to be receiving. Okay, and they come in with that cup. When you're twin flame, when you're masculine or whatever, the runner, the less awakened, whatever you want to call it, okay? The twin waiting to be received. So if you're watching this video, you're probably the receiver twin. If you're on the spiritual path and interested in researching twin flames and all that, you're probably the one preparing to receive your twin when they're ready to come home. So, but see, this card is like, I always think of it like this guy who's leaving was told to kick rocks by this guy because he slept with this guy's wife. This guy's like the farmer, the guy who owns the property, whatever, okay? The homestead. And, you know, he let his brother or friend or whatever, family or friend stay there. And for a moment of passion, you know, he threw all this away. And it's never like this guy's going, oh, well, it was worth, yeah, okay, fine, I'll leave. It was worth it because that was the best piece of ass I ever had. It was worth losing my best friend over. No. That's never the result. Never. Okay? It's never worth it. Is always the result. It's not worth it. So, but we've, and you know, just because he needs to stand in his power and his truth and tell this guy up here to get lost and kick rocks because of what he did, that's just a natural progression of things. He's still gonna, this guy, you know, the good guy, whatever, he's still gonna miss his friend or brother or whatever. It's not like he's gonna, you know, he's gonna wish, man, why'd you ever do that? Like, we'd still be cool right now. You know, but it all was meant to happen, you know. And the old wifey's gonna get a spanking too. But, I'm just kidding. But, yeah. Oh, hopefully. But, so, we both twins have been on both sides of the fences. They've been the one to offend and the one who got offended. Okay, the one that hurt the other person and the one who got hurt. So this is why we need to forgive, because these past lives, you know, I don't know if we're a woman every time or if we were whatever. I mean, who knows? We really don't really know much. Even our own experience, you know, I always question too, am I interpreting this properly? And That's why not a lot of times, but sometimes I'll come back on and reiterate a message because I'll get a metaphysical 3D experience, symbolism, whatever that matches up to a reading or vice versa. And so I'll know, okay, this is an important message to share. This is the main one that I need to, you know, reiterate. So we have Three of Pentacles at the center. This is love, you know, this is end of problems. This is you're cooperating with the universe, so you get to be at ease. And paint your canvas, paint the picture. Kick back and relax a little bit. You know, we've been doing a lot of hard work. And when you cooperate with the universe, you realize that it's not really always this outward action work thing, okay? Sometimes it's just creative expression, letting that flow through you, having a clear channel, all your your chakras aren't blocked up, or at least your root and sacral and probably manipura, to put out a product like a painting or something. But so this is you cooperating, with the Trinity, with all aspects, whatever Trinity, mind, body, spirit, Father, Son, Holy Ghost, which is the Divine Mother. Holy Spirit's the Divine Mother. Any Trinity, any Trinity. So any Trinity that you're experiencing currently, you can apply to this. So this literally in this little booklet says end of problems for this deck, for the Harmonious deck. And I love the Harmonious deck. And there's a lot to pull from the picture. So, it's like paint your canvas. Cooperating isn't as much, this isn't the hard work card. This is, that's at the foundation. Okay. This is going with the flow, receiving, just going as you're guided by God, source, creator, spirit, your team, your higher self. This is just going with your guidance, okay? So just cooperating with that, with being open to receive the messages, understand them, get clarity, okay? And this is applying them, okay? So this could be any kind of skill. This is the creative juice you're tapping into, your fortitude, your power, your ancient knowledge, your coping skills, parenting skills, everything. It's already inside you, okay? You think they took classes back in the day to learn how to do this and do that? No, it's because we've been lied to for so long and told we're sinners, we're dumb, we're this, we're that. No. We're reflections of God. We're not any of that. Unless we choose to give our power away. Okay, so this is taking your power back and channeling, funneling that power, that energy, that ka into something creative. Something beautiful that adds more light to the world. Gardening, whatever it is, okay? She's sculpting here, and over here they're painting. So music, anything creative, really, dancing, furniture making, woodworking, all kinds of, every medium you can think of, okay? Making little dioramas out of shoeboxes. I mean, you've sidewalk chalk art. I mean, you start Googling these things and my goodness. I had a friend who, I think I moved like in 9th grade, but we were in 6th grade together, and I believe junior high. Can't remember when he moved away, but really cool guy. Really nice boy. And he was doing the sidewalk chalk art, and that's actually when I was on Facebook and stuff. That's how I I think that's the first time I heard about it, because he had posted something. He was really good. I mean, there's some people that are just, oh my goodness, you see some of that stuff, it's so three-dimensional that it looks so real. And it's beautiful because it's not permanent. It's like what the Tibetans do with the sand art, you know. Because it's not about art, it's about permanency and making money and currency and that whole exchange and your creative expression being taken away from you, and you have to sign contracts to say you gotta be my art slave for 5 years. You can't make movies for any other company, but right? It's crazy. So we're like, a lot of artists are taking back their power with owning their own music, owning the creative rights, owning the rights to their creative expression. So, you know, oops, I reversed that. So this could be that too. If you're an artist and maybe you're doing it a different way, now maybe you just want to, you know, another guy I went to school with, he's married, has a wife, a home, all that stuff, and he makes a good and decent amount of money, and his band, and they're still together, they've been together forever, and they tour around the country, and they promote themselves, and they're on SoundCloud, and they have records, like actual vinyl records and stuff that they get. You don't have to go through these channels that, well, you got to go through a publishing company and blah, 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 and it's like they just want to make money off you. Oh my gosh, I just got an email. It's funny because the name is Justine Saint, or Justine Saint, so like Justice and Saints. The last email, I think it's like Balboa Publishing, which is a self-publishing offshoot of Hay House, I believe. Which I think Hay House, right? You know, what's her name runs that, and Dr. Wayne Dyers was with them, and a lot of good authors. But the last email was, we haven't heard back from you, and the phone number I have on file has been unsuccessful in attempts to reach you. Most of them were pretty generic, you know, but this one was like, and with little to no progress in your book making, blah, blah. I'm like, what? It was like so negative. I'm like, wow, delete. See how they try to prey on your, but it triggered me, and I was like, good, you're right. You know what? I should get back into writing, and I have plans to do that. And I have been doing that. And as soon as my son goes back to school, well, I'll share with you guys that when that comes up. I'm going to start doing, going to my special spot by the river, and probably do readings out there too, and then yeah, just have my time to myself to do readings, meditate, write, all this stuff. So I'm like, good, thank you for the trigger, and I will definitely be publishing myself or using another company. Yeah, so it was just funny, like, allow yourself to be triggered, laugh it off, take the lesson from it, like, yeah, you're right, you know, that doesn't mean you need to, like, respond to that email and go with that company and feel guilty, and I'm just like, that was really funny how negative that was, like, strong-arming someone to, you know what I mean? It was just like, that's the nature of the beast, though, when it's like a scouting company trying to find athletes, trying to find child actors, models, this, that, because they're trying to feed off your energy, because people want to hear you talk. They want to see your pretty face. You're an excellent athlete. People are amazed by you. So they want a piece of that action. You know what I mean? It's very parasitic, vampirical, and it seems so innocent, right? Oh, you're going to make money. Your kid's going to be an actor, and we're going to help your family. And then see how it all ends up. So anyway, I really recommend people just do creative expression. Don't do it for money. And if you make money off it, that's awesome. But that will come if that's supposed to come. If you try to push it and you're just doing it because you want to make money, you want to be famous, it's being driven by the ego, then you're going to see how it won't work out for you. So, and a lot of that stuff's ego driven, you know. People want others fawning all over them, and I've never been one for attention. Ever since I was a kid, I just liked being connected with nature. I didn't like attention. Some people love it, and I never stood that. I'm not trying to judge it. It's just I've always kind of been the opposite. I like, as far as like connecting with people and engaging and making them laugh or cheering them up or enlightening them about something in some way, and usually pisses them off. But I don't just come out with stuff. Like, if people want advice, I will. I mean, usually the only advice I give is get in the stillness and the silence. As long as you get in the stillness and silence, you'll get the answers for yourself. They're inside you. They're between you and God. But yeah, I'm not one that goes around, because for me it's about connecting. So you have to gauge the energy and the level of vibration, intelligence, whatever, of the group that you're in, right? You want to connect with these people or whatever. So just like with animals, you have to tune into a certain vibration if you want to get the messages, if you want to connect. So when I cut into the deck, and this showed up while I was shuffling as well. It was on the bottom of when a card fell out, I think this was like on the bottom of the deck or the bottom of the chunk that was in my hand or something. So there's reunion, 6 of Cups right there. And the next, that was when I cut into the deck. So the next top card was 6 of Swords after I laid all the cards. And the bottom is 10 of Wands. So drop the wands and moving on. Okay, 10 of Wands, that's done. The oppressiveness is over. The oppression, that's the proper form. So, and it has to do with reunion. But see, mind, body, spirit. Each one has to be balanced. Tetrahedron, triangulated. Okay, Trinity withinity. So we have to have unity within. Okay, we have to be integrated and unified within the self first, and then it happens between the two twins. And this also is that innocent love, returning to the self. See, this is like her. I just got that, I think, for the first time. This is like her loving herself as a child. This is the child, but this is her as a grown woman. So, it's about a return, full circle, have your catharsis, all that stuff, purging all the pain, okay? That has to happen with self first, and as you do that, your twin does that, and as your twin does that, you do that. So, because we're mirrors down here, that's why the tree of life is the palace of mirrors. So, the reason I'm sharing this was because, I'll get to that when I do the divine feminine side. So divine masculine. So I laid down that Knave of Cups, and then this was the next card, 2 of Wands. So he really wants to make that offer to his twin flame, bring in that good pure love, but I think this is just a fear. I don't think he's actually currently dealing with this, but it could be that too. It could be a combination of both. But what I think this is just, Saturn coming in saying, all right, divine masculine, sift through the last remnants of the traces of shadow, a final rinse, like when you do your conditioner for your hair, whatever, there's one last final step. And I think this is just a checkoff list of like, am I worried that she's going to do the same thing to me again, or what others have done to me in the past? Am I completely living in my truth? Am I afraid that, I'm going to get addicted to her again and feel all these feelings of jealousy and resentment and all this stuff? I'm not going to be able to handle other people being attracted to her, or, and vice versa. So these are fears that go on between the feminine and the masculine. So these are things that I've thought myself, like, and they're all just ego-based. Okay, it's fear-based, it's ego. So, because it's with the Five of Cups here. So I'm like, it's like he feels really good. Two of Wands, Knave of Cups. He really wants to come in with this love for his twin flame and do it right, That's why he really wants to really examine very thoroughly, get every spot on that mirror. Because, get every spot on the mirror because he doesn't want to bring any of this energy. Because this is adding to your life, right? So this, if he brings any of this, it would be taking away this Five of Cups, you know, holding on to the past, crying over spilt milk. Okay, so having to let go of your addictions. You love watching porn? Well, you want to be with your twin flame who's celibate and saintly or whatever we're doing, you know. And you're not going to be able to do that if you still have these tendencies to go back to these dysfunctional coping skills, okay, of like escapism and isolation and you know, pity, self-pity, resentment and bitterness when it's pushed on to someone else. So I think they're really doing some dark mirror examinations. And it's so funny because I did a video a while back with that title. I had no idea it was a show on Netflix, or maybe it's called Black Mirror or whatever, but that was interesting because I had also watched a video which was so random. It was like InfoWars. Oh my gosh, he was in my dream last night too. Alex Jones was in my dream last night. That's so funny. But I was watching Owen something that's on that show. He has his own channel. And the one random video he mentioned that show, Black Mirror. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? It was like that same day that I found out that was a show. And so anyway, that's just a little synchronicity, but that stuff happens all the time. Oh, and we're going to have to do a separate video about that. I know it's coming. I keep saying that, but it's like, I got to compile it all and write it down because there's a lot and some really significant stuff with names lately. So this is what the Divine Masculine is doing currently. He's preparing, okay, to come in with that. So, or I should say, the one waiting to be received. So it's not like they're waiting to be received and they're just going to come in like, oh, I need you. No, it's like when you get invited to a dinner party or something like that, you come bearing gifts. You bring at least a bottle of wine or something, you know what I mean? He's going to come prepared with a ring, an apology, offer something that I want to be in your life in some fashion that is comfortable for you, and I will adapt to that. So this is a very adjustable, adaptable type of love. It's very humble. It comes in very humble and asks, you know, how can I serve you? And not from a less than, okay, that's ego. We're releasing that. We're heart-centered. We're vulnerable. We're like, how can we serve? This is how the masculine and feminine need to be with each other. I am honored to serve you. How can I serve you? And it's not from an ego place of better than, less than, like, oh, you're better than me, you're righteous, you're higher, so, and I'm less than, so I, you know, will submit to you. No. That's the distortion, that's the dark side of it. The light side of everything, okay? And when you're the light, you see the darkness clearer than anyone because you illuminate it, right? You expose everything that's hidden in the darkness. So that's what we do as way showers, light workers, twin flames, right? We hold the torches so we can see in those caves of, right? These caves of darkness. We hold the flame so we can show the way. Hello. So and all added up, it's 22. But if we reduce 15 to a 6. And then add the 5, that's 11, and then 12, 13. And that's the number of the Divine Mother, but you're not supposed to do it like that. So it would be 22, and that wouldn't reduce, because that's a master number. So that's the number, and the knave doesn't have a number. So we have 22 on the side of the Divine Masculine with the 2 of Wands. So very interesting. 2 with the High Priestess crowning. So the Divine Feminine, okay. So the Temperance card, then the Lovers card. I'm like, wow. Unification, 2 becoming 1. The Wings, okay. A lot of pink. And then the 2 of Cups. Hello, Divine Feminine. Hello, how are you? How are you doing? How's it going? So yesterday, so I'm studying the Tree of Life, and I'm reading about Da'at, and how this all came to me naturally before I even knew what the Tree of Life was or any of this shit. And so I'm going, yeah, just like when I took metaphysics classes in college, I was like, oh my God, finally these are actual things, these concepts in my crazy mind. There's actual terms for these things that have been studied by like real people. This is a thing, a discipline, a field of study. Oh my gosh. And so that's what's happening with the Tree of Life. And as I'm experiencing it in real life through gematria, synchronicities, and so on and so forth, I familiarize myself with the Sephra that corresponds to that. And so I'm learning it through actual experience. So I'm actually really learning it. So it's really like, because, it's when it's a part of your experience, it's not something you have to learn and memorize. It's just a part of you. It's a knowing. So half of them I've actually experienced. So I was looking up the other ones and, thinking about how to apply it to my life and what that would mean in my life. And so I'm sitting out in the backyard, and my son's in his little pool and playing, and I'm just looking up at the sky, and it's nice and clear, no chemtrails, not even a cloud, just pure blue sky. And I said, Da'at. And I was just thinking very deeply, very pensive about this Da'at. And I just said it quietly, but out loud, Da'at. And all of a sudden, 2 pigeons together fly over my head. And I thought a bird landed on a branch or something, because it did this thing, and oh my God, I swear to God, one of my brothers out here, Soul Family, he's been talking about it too, and I'm like, that is so random, specific, like scary synchronicity. Not scary, but like, whoa, so specific, like not a normal synchronicity. This branch is moving, and you look to see a bird or some kind of squirrel, a bird or something on there, and there's nothing there. Okay. So as those birds flew over, I looked behind me, that a branch did that thing, and I'm like, those birds flew over. They didn't land it, and I'm looking around, and there's like nothing there. And I'm just like, okay, here we go again. So it's very interesting. It could have been an interdimensional or whatever, Maybe it was a bird that I didn't catch, but this is not the first time. This keeps happening, and it's not just me. It's someone else who lives on the other side of the country. And I don't even think I even mentioned this before in any of my videos, so it wasn't like he was getting it from me, okay? And he's not like that anyway. But so the 2 pigeons, okay, they look like doves, but they have the markings, so they were pigeons, but they're related. Okay, so 2 pigeons, okay, right after I say Da'at, 2 pigeons fly over my left. Pretty much right over my head, like as high as like the roof line of my house, so pretty low. And pigeons, they fly pretty low. Then over to my right, 2 hawks, or they could have been egrets. They looked like I want to say like golden. It looked like dark like black on the top maybe, but then when they would turn and the sunlight would reflect just right on the underside of their wings, it looked straight up gold. So I was getting this ancient Egyptian feeling from the color combination of the two. And their beaks kind of looked like reddish, like a reddish kind of color from where I was. They were pretty up high, but I could see. So black, red, and gold, that's Divine Mother, okay? Okay, so 2 pigeons and then 2 hawks. I believe they were hawks. Circling around. They were up there for a while. It's like these birds wanted to make sure that I saw them right after I said Da'at. Okay, and you can go, I'll speak more on the Tree of Life in another video. But if you want to look up Da'at, some of you might even know the Tree of Life. So you already know familiar with what Da'ath is. But Da'ath or Da'at, D-A-A-T, it's also spelled D-A-A-T-H. So the pigeons and the hawks, and then 2, I don't know if they were like finches or sparrows or little, and then 2 little birds that flew. So the pigeons came at me over my left side, over like towards, head on towards me, back over my head, over my left side. Then the hawks were on my right, and they were like swirling around and ended up a little bit over my head on my left side. And then also the sparrows, or whatever the little ones were, flew perpendicular to that from my right to my left, from a tree. Okay, so in front of me from the right to the left. So it was very much happening right in front of me, right over my head, left and right, balanced. There were 2 birds. It was right after I said Da'at, right after I'd been doing some research on Da'at, and through synchronicities I was like, oh, it's leading me to Da'at. Okay, so there's something else I need to further research that, even though it has to do with the twin flames. So you'll see when you look up Da'at in the Tree of Life, and it's considered the 11th Sephirah. Well, if they use that one, then they won't use Keter. So there's still always only 10, but I consider it the 11th, okay? And it has to do with the twin flame, and it's the 11th Sephirah, okay? It's the pathless Sephirah. It's the Sephirah that exists without existing. It's fascinating when you start studying that, but it's funny how, as psychics or healers or teachers, we already have all this knowledge inside of us. And then we go and learn metaphysics or the Tree of Life or the Bible or whatever, and we're like, whoa, confirmation that it's already written somewhere. This truth is shared, okay? So the bird tribe, this name Averbach, okay, as I was reading, I'm watching my brother who's in New Jersey. He says the word New Jersey as I'm reading that this person, something Averbach, which is bird back, okay, is from New Jersey, something New Jersey. So as I'm reading the word New Jersey in this article, he's saying New Jersey. And the last name is Averbach, okay, Da'at and Averbach have to do with each other, I guess, because the twin flames, the twin wing, okay, the wings, the lungs, wings, it's like 2 halves of one whole, and then they function together to actually get something done. Like, one wing isn't going to get you anywhere. One rib, one frac. So one wing isn't going to get you anywhere. One lung isn't, right? It's like having half of a heart. That's what twin flames are. We're whole in and of ourselves, right? But, okay, one lung itself, in and of itself, is whole, right? But it can't function totally, completely, right? In the ether, yes, but we have to bring that into form, just like all other manifestations. Not pushing it through impatience. Okay, temperance is all about patience, inner alchemy, mastering the self, the balance of masculine and feminine. Okay, I mean, you can just interpret that for yourself. Look, we have Temperance, Lovers, and Two of Cups. Oh, and Da'at. It was a two-headed bat without a body, but just two wings and two heads. Okay, well, this just has one, but it reminded me of that, and that came to me when I read that yesterday, and then here we go. I mean, this card came to me, this bat, okay? Also this one, because I was like, but that's Archangel Michael, I believe. Could be Gabriel. I believe it's Michael. But, so, I mean, this is really, truly the union card right here. This is, I believe, just God blessing, you know, your team and everyone, like, oh, the angels sing when more love is created, those third energies, right? I mean, these are just beautiful cards. I can't even really say much. It's just Divine Feminine, you're ready. I think it's just a little bit of this ego check of like, make sure you remember we've been on both sides. Okay, we're not perfect little princesses. And then for the Divine Masculine, remember to double check, cross all your I's and dot all your T's. I know I said that backwards. It's okay. Because, you know, he just wants to make sure that there's no things sticking to him when he comes in with this offer that's pure, clean, no strings attached, no karmics, no nothing. So no holding on to the past, no being triggered, no, I mean, we can't be perfect, but, you know, not reverting back to this, you know, being addicted to your feminine because of the comfort and the sex and the whatever you get, you know, coming out of that 3D, letting go of the last attachments to the 3D. That's really what the Divine Masculine has to do. Oh, because, and we have the Five of Swords, they have the Five of Cups, so it's very interesting. They're both fives, so the feminine's dealing a little bit more mentally with it, and the masculine's dealing with it a little bit more emotionally. So that makes sense, right? Very balanced. All right, I will see you guys soon. Bless you all. Peace be upon you all. Peace be upon you all, yeah. And I love you all. God bless.